Juneau Empire staffing changes played out on social media this week, a longtime Alaska journalist is offering his perspective, telling our investigative team's Johnson Kuhn that those changes speak to what he calls a bigger concerning trend for the future of Alaska newspapers. Johnson.
That's right, John. We often talk to Larry Pursley about oil and gas issues. The Wrangell Sentinel publisher has worked in Alaska journalism and government for nearly 50 years. He says what's playing out at the Juneau Empire is just the latest example of problems Alaska's newspaper industry is facing.
Right.
Every paper in Alaska is financially challenged and has problems.
Larry Pursley's been publishing the Wrangell Sentinel on and off since 1976. Within that time, he's had a front row seat to the rapid changes within the newspaper industry.
It used to be advertising carried most of the budget for newsrooms. Now it's got to be readership, but we've got less readership. So we've got to come up with some answer, or it's a terminal illness.
As newspapers search for that answer, Pursley says free social media spaces are replacing those advertising dollars. At the same time, printing costs continue forcing publications online. One example, the Juneau Empire. After 36 years, in 2023, the paper discontinued local printing and moved from publishing 6 days a week to only 2 days.
They didn't technically fire me. They just told me I wasn't required to come into work anymore.
What former Juneau Empire editor and longtime reporter Mark Sabatini now calls a firing, he called a resignation earlier this week in a Facebook post. Now telling Alaska's news source, it came down to disagreeing with the direction the Empire's Mississippi-based owner, Carpenter Media Group, wants to take the paper. He says his plan now is to launch his own nonprofit online publication called the Juneau Independent.
The thing is there's some fantastic journalism work going on these days. It's just not always getting read, and it's just not always what's the most popular or most profitable.
With newspapers from across Alaska facing a grim future, Pursley says the solution lies in acknowledging a barrier between the public and credible local news.
We've got to figure out where the public is getting their news and get them real news, not the other garbage that comes in over their phone. To establish newsrooms, whether it's radio, TV, newspapers, online news sites, to, build and maintain credibility so people come to those sites.
Now, in full disclosure, I previously worked with Sabatini at the Juneau Empire. He said that, to his knowledge, the Empire plans to keep Juneau-based reporters, even though operations will be overseen by Kenai's Peninsula Clarion. Alaska's news source reached out to the Juneau Empire's parent companies, Carpenter Media Group, Sound Publishing, and the Peninsula Clarion for comment, but have not received a response.